This is the Toyota CHR. It's meant to be an urban runabout aimed at consumers who want affordability and efficiency in an eye-catching wrapper. The question becomes, is the CHR's design strong enough to make up for its so-so performance? Let's find out. Compact SUVs are now a thing. Generally speaking, Americans don't like driving small cars, but they seem to have no problem driving tiny SUVs. The CHR here competes with the Honda HR-V, which is a size down from the already small Honda CR-V. And then you have the Nissan Kicks and things like the Hyundai Venue. Toyota is making the bet that urban commuters are going to choose funky styling over a more traditional, blander looking SUV. Let's talk about this thing's design. Funky is a word for it, so is bold, so is in your face. I think it falls into the you love it or you hate it camp. There's a lot going on and there's lines and surfaces going in every direction. Point out a couple things. I mean, it's got this huge mouth guard down here. The headlights are stacked on top of the fenders, which is odd. I love that it has black wheels. I think black wheels are always a safe choice. I wish they were bigger. These are 18s. It would look so much better on 20s, but that would raise the price of the car. Then on the side, there's this character line which starts about here and just runs down the entire vehicle and then pops back up and then boomerangs that way. It's not traditional, let's just put it that way. And it does give it this weird, distorted funhouse mirror surfacing back here, which I'm not a huge fan of. What I do like is this door handle, it's here, is cool. And also if you don't want your 2-year-old to be able to open the back door from the outside, that's great. Things really go, well, off the car when you get to the rear. It's got this cool transom above the license plate and the rear lights are mounted off of it. They're actually off the vehicle, sticking out like Yoda's ears. It's pretty wild. And I think that's the effect Toyota was going for. If the outside of the CHR is meant to look wild and crazy, the interior is surprisingly sophisticated and, dare I say it, mature. Let me give you an example. The touchscreen here, which by the way, this screen is the same one you'd find on the much larger, much more expensive Highlander. This screen, they could have just glued it here and called it good enough. And a lot of manufacturers do that. They just kind of stick an iPad to the dash. Instead, what Toyota did was they put this piece of trim over it. And this piece of trim actually starts back here on the door, runs the entire length of the dash to the other door. Again, it's pretty sophisticated. The top of the dash here, this material feels like leather. Could be something else, but it does feel like leather. You've got this neat scalloping all over the place. It's on the doors, it's on the seats, it's even on the roof. There's scallops out of the roof. Pretty sophisticated design. The downside to sitting inside of the CHR is space. There's not a ton of it. I'm fairly cramped up here. It would be much worse if I was in the back seat because of the way the roof slopes. And by the time you get to the cargo area, well, it's disappointing because not only is the roof sloping more, but the inside is weirdly narrower than you would think. Still, for less than $30,000, this is a nice interior. I said earlier that the CHR's performance is only so-so. And that's accurate. It's got a little engine. It's a 1.6 liter 4-cylinder, makes 144 horsepower and 139 pound-feet of torque. That's not a lot, but remember the CHR doesn't cost a lot either. However, even though it has fully independent suspension at all 4 corners, the car doesn't handle that well. One of the reasons why is because it's front-wheel drive only, which calls into question, can you really say it's an SUV if it doesn't have all-wheel drive? More specifically, if all-wheel drive isn't even an option. Speaking of options it doesn't have, there's no hybrid, which is odd because Toyota, they are the masters of hybridizing everything. As a result, this doesn't get the best fuel economy. 29 miles per gallon overall. So even if its straight line performance is in line with the competition, its mileage is worse. As far as safety goes, none of the rating agencies has crashed a Toyota CHR, so we just don't know. What we do know is it comes standard with Toyota's Safety Sense 2.5, and that means there's a long list of active safety features, including emergency braking for automobiles, bicycles, and pedestrians. Plus, this thing has automatic high beams, a feature that I love. Pricing. You can get into a Toyota CHR for as little as $22,620. For not quite $3,000 more, you can have the Nightshade Edition, which is the vehicle right here, which comes with all sorts of blacked out stuff, mirrors, wheels, etc. And if you were to check every option there is, we're still talking less than $28,000. So the CHR is not very expensive. Plus, it comes with Toyota's well-known reputation for reliability. The one thing you should know about a Toyota CHR is, if you're in the market for a small, funky-looking SUV, this one is priced right. In conclusion, the Toyota CHR, it's not the fastest nor the most spacious small SUV. And without all-wheel drive, is it really an SUV? However, you cannot deny its low price or wild looks. And for some consumers, it's the right choice. For more on cars we love and the latest rankings, check out motortrend.com/cars.